This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted as always to be joined by my good friend, top trainer, Mark Tibbs. Mark, we've just said off camera, very, very exciting times for yourself. But before all of that, how is everything? You all good, mate?
Lovely, Josh. Yeah, it's been it's not been so full on, but started to pick up now. Got a few things happening. Tommy Fletcher fighting next Friday at York Hall, and and yeah, and obviously not long now. Johnny Fisher should be back in the gym to get him ready for his 21st of December in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, great opportunity for him versus David Allen.
A great fight. Well, just very quickly, get a word on Tommy Fletcher. It's only right to do so. Next week is I'd say a little bit of a step up fight. Milan Volkov's, he's a tough opponent. He's got a good record, a winning record. What are you expecting to see from Tommy's opponent next weekend or next Friday night even?
Yeah, well, you said it yourself, Josh. I think he's had about 15, 18 fights. Tommy's is his eighth or ninth pro fight. I think he's got 10 or 6, 8 KOs on that thing on his record. So he's an opponent that wants to come and have a go and win. And I feel that it's going to bring the best out in Tommy Fletcher for sure. Like it all does all good fighters, They need another fighter. They need a dance partner, a good one. I feel, Tommy's not been out for a little while. He's just had a tonsil operation. And so it's very, very brave of Tommy to take this fight instead of having another warm-up for someone like this guy from Latvia. But yeah, so no, Tommy he's a different man now. He's had his tonsils out. Not the finished article, but he's a different man and a stronger man. And he's going to perform next Friday. I really believe he is. And yeah, can't wait for him to get going and start to build some momentum before he can touch on the fights that Johnny Fisher's touching on. I mean, it's all there in front of him. They can see where they go when and if they work at the game they're in. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to a great performance next Friday from Tommy. But the big talking point the other night now, we had the announcement of the Fury Usyk undercard, and your man Johnny Fisher lands on there out in Riyadh. I'd say, without a doubt, the biggest stage of his career against Dave Allen, the toughest fight of his career. Just before we look at the fight itself, just how exciting is it for yourself, for Johnny, to be involved in Riyadh season now and hold such a good spot on such a strong card?
Fantastic move for Johnny Fisher is. I'll talk about it a lot. A lot of people talk about it to me. Well done to Johnny getting on that card and things like that. And I have to remind myself. I forget who's top of the bill. The two best heavyweights in the world. Really, I forget about who's top of the bill. And so yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful for Johnny. Yeah, and Dave Allen, a fit Dave Allen is a crafty old fox, mate. He's a good, very experienced, knows all the moves, natural fighter, and let's hope he gets fit for it for sure.
Well, I mean, you mentioned you keep forgetting who tops the bill. I'm sure that just shows how focused you are on your own fight. You're not focusing on the occasion. Um, but just how exciting is it to be on such a big card? Like we know how big of a name Johnny is in the UK. We've seen what he did last time out when he fought Alan Babbage and how he almost sold out the copper box just on his own. But this is a different type of stage. This gets him from that domestic stage and selling in the UK to make it. He can turn himself into a global star now on this card. How big is this for him?
Yeah, well, he won't let this, like you just said. I reminded myself. I almost forgot who's top of the bill because my job is to get performances on the evening to peak the performance, and I know we never overlook anybody because young Giorgio Vizioli said to me today, "Damn," he said, "I was after my last fight, I've done all that work for that." I said, "But if you didn't do all that work, you didn't work like you did, you probably still would have won, but you wouldn't have looked as good." So we're preparing for the future, and he sort of got it. But getting back to Fisher, listen, Dave Allen, he will learn on the job in this fight with Dave. He will learn on the job. It's something you can't teach him. You have to get in there with the experience. So I wouldn't call him a dinosaur, but you have to get in with the experienced dinosaurs to know what it's all about. And Johnny, for me, is too young and strong. But we're going to learn on the job, but we want to look good doing it. And yeah, it's going to be a good fight. It's a great move for Johnny Fisher. The whole world of boxing and people of non-boxing people, we're watching it because of the undisputed there at stake, Tyson and Usyk. So yeah, fantastic opportunity to present himself a wrongful ball to the whole world. Quality move.
Would you say a fully fit Dave Allen will give Johnny more struggle than any of the opponents so far in his career, looking at it on paper?
Well, we would hope to think so, but I welcome that because it puts a bit of not fear, but a little bit of keeps my fighters on their toes. That's what we want. We want Johnny to take less punishment as possible, but give as much punishment as he can in the nicest possible way. Look good. And look good, makes sense. Tee up your work. Could get tough in there. Could take Johnny into deep waters. Johnny will feel the experience, but if he hangs about and listens and feels it too long, it could be in trouble. So if you listen carefully, what I'm saying is, we've got to feel it but react. Feel it but react. Get on with our job. Do what we've got to do. Make space. Get him thinking before he gets us thinking, if you know what I mean.
One thing that you said that I wanted to quickly highlight. You mentioned Giorgio Visioli's fight a couple of weeks back now in Sheffield, and how you said he was a bit frustrated after the fight. Is that, I guess you say, the tedious stage of his career for him, where he'll be putting everything into the training camp, and then he'll get in the ring on the night, and not it'll be in the ring with someone that's not on the same level as him, and he just feels a bit let down by the opponent. Does he want to get himself quickly to a level where he feels the hard work that he's doing in the gym fully pays off in the ring? Not saying that it doesn't pay off, but where you mentioned him being annoyed, but you being satisfied with it, where everyone's satisfied with the performance.
Well, I welcomed that reaction from him. It made me smile because he can't see what I see, but he's just got to trust the process, and it's a credit to him. What an easy job he made of it. What an easy job he made of it because of the, he got his hard work in, he got his recovery work in, and he got his he got the balance right basically. So you can't over prepare Giorgio Visioli. You could wear him out. It'd be easy to wear him out and flog him, and he can't perform. It's easy to do, but that's not what I'm about. We don't flog them. We make sure they got it on there on the night. They've got bounce in their feet, and they can fire any given moment. They can think for themselves. When you're flogged, you can't think straight. You can't think at all. You get your head jabbed off and get worked over yourself. So. No, it was a nice reaction from Giorgio Visioli when he said that. But he listened, he understands, and he understands that there is a process. I mean, you can rush the process and get him there quick, but once he's there, he's in with the big boys, and it's you're in a place where it's all about timing, Josh, timing. Getting back to Fisher, it's not forget Fisher. It's about Johnny Fisher.
Just one last thing on Giorgio before we go back to Fisher. Will we see Giorgio back in the ring before the end of this year?
Yes, I believe he's got another fight, and I think I know his management are working out the logistics and talking to Matchroom where they want to put him. But yeah, he's been in the gym since Wednesday last week. He's doing some light stuff. And he's done a little bit of punching today. But he's getting prepped, and time he gets a date, we'll be doing some one-to-one stuff before sparring.
Good to hear. And then just back on Fisher for a couple more questions on him. We know that Fisher and Dave Allen, they've shared rounds in the past, but back when Johnny was a complete novice. Would you say it'd be fair if Dave tried to look at those old spars and take something away from it, or would you say that's completely daft because Johnny's a whole new fighter now?
No, Dave's far too smart to think like that. Um, Dave knows. Dave's been where Johnny's been himself, and I mean Dillian White. When I trained Dillian White, Dillian fought Dave for. I thought it was for the British title vacant, but it wasn't. It was he fought Ian Lucy for that. But we fought Dave uh, in a 10-round fight, I believe. I think it was the O2, and then Dillian hired Dave after for sparring a few times. So I know Dave well. We used to train in a gym in Leicester, actually. In a gym in Leicester, me and Dillian, we trained in a gym in Leicester a few years ago. In the evenings, we trained, and Dave was our sparring partner up there a few times. Met Dave's dad and all. And when we come back to London to train, we trained in the Peacock Gym, Canning Town. We used the Hampstead Gym in the evening. We had that to ourselves, and Dave come down for a couple of weeks and sparred with us. Gave very good work, and I always felt there was more to Dave than he was letting on. I always felt that. I always felt that. But yeah, no, that's so I know David Allen very, very well. Yeah, boxing wise.
So you say that you always felt that he has more to give than what he actually has done so far. Do you feel with the opportunity, and Dave's come out and said that this is his last roll of the dice, do you feel that we might see not necessarily a prime David Allen, but the best David Allen that he can give at the moment?
Well, I feel he will. He knows it's his last roll of the dice on such a big stage. It doesn't take rocket science to work out. If he delivers, he'll stay on that stage. You get me?
Yeah.
There it is. So it ain't rocket science. So Johnny Fisher, get in the gym Monday.
Just turning away from all of this and just looking at some of the other big heavyweight talking points. Uh, Eddie Hearn has done an interview with us here at Seconds Out this week, and when we asked him about the plans for Anthony Joshua, he said that they won't be waiting around for the winner of Fury versus Usyk. They won't be taking any rebuilding fights, and they want to go and dive straight back into a Daniel Dubois rematch. Do you feel that's the sensible move for Anthony Joshua to go straight back in with Dubois?
Who said that anyway? Say it again.
Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that's it's very, very positive. Where we'll think about where he is geographically in the boxing world, where he is and what he's got there. If he can initiate that, then I get it. I get it. As long as Anthony Joshua is as upbeat and positive like Eddie is, why bloody not? Why not? Yeah, for sure. Yes, definitely.
And Daniel's also come out and said in an interview that he did with us this week, he said, he was asked, what do you want to do next? We know that there's an AJ rematch available, but we also know that there's the winner of Fury Usyk. Daniel doesn't seem to want to wait around because he's aware that there could be an injury or anything for the fighters in the fight in December. So he said he wants to step back in about February time and fight AJ as well. Do you feel that's the fair move on Dubois' end? Even as a world champion, he wants to stay nice and active.
Well, I think it's a good move for Dubois to welcome the rematch with Anthony Joshua. I think it's a good move for sure because he feels he has the upper hand and he feels he'll do another job on AJ. AJ, I believe, obviously will make a few tweaks to counter and get the win himself. But if Dubois was to jump in the top two, big two are very good natural boxers, very natural, and boxing is in their blood, and just comes to them like second nature. So it's a difficult fight then too. So yeah, I think the wise and sensible move, if they're all thinking positively about it, is to do the AJ two versus Dubois before the winner of that one moves on to the winner of uh, Usyk and Tyson.
For Daniel Dubois, if it isn't to be Anthony Joshua next, what other heavyweights out there would you like to see him get in the ring with?
I'd like to see him fight Dubois. I'd like to see him fight Parker,
It's a great fight.
Joe Parker. I'd like to see him fight uh, Joe Joyce. Is that a fight, or has he slipped a bit now?
It depends. It depends on what take you look at it because Joyce does hold a win over Dubois. So
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was going on. Listen, um, yeah, but listen, I think what is going to come off is because you've just said it and they've said it is AJ Dubois 2, and the winner of that one fights the winner of Usyk and Fury.
what do you believe happens in a rematch between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois? Do you think it'll be repeat or revenge?
Listen, they've both got the weapons, as we saw. They've both got the weapons. We can't afford. Anthony Joshua cannot perform like he did. He cannot perform like he did. It was his worst performance of his whole career, in my opinion. And he cannot afford to to do that what he did again. And that's for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Would you say the in the way Anthony Joshua got beat, it wasn't just he sat back and lost on points. It was a demolition job from Dubois, multiple knockdowns, and we know that there's no such thing as a soft hitting heavyweight. They all have power about themselves, but Dubois has that exceptional bit of power. Could you say in the way that he was beaten and taking so many shots that without him realizing it might have took a lot more out of him than what we all know at the moment?
yeah. I mean, you don't know if because we all felt that he gained that mental confidence, but he can't slip back. He can't slip back. He cannot afford to slip back. It's too dangerous boxing. Cannot afford to slip back. He has to be confident, and he's got to know what he wants and go and get it. Not sit in corners saying he's fucking shit. The other geezer, and he's knocked him down countless rounds. Excuse me and pardon me for talking like I did. Please put the beeps in. But yeah, it's just frustrating to see that behavior from such an elite fighter of our own. He doesn't need to talk like that. He's just got to get down and dirty, get out there and get the job done, get it back again, and get it back again. He's equipped, isn't he? Anthony Joshua, blimey, what a fine specimen he is. And yes, got to get his chin down. He's getting chin down, nice and compact but relaxed, and get out there and get first, fast and hard with that left knee. Beautiful left jab he's got.
Absolutely.
I was looking at Frank Bruno the other day for the first time after watching that fight. Frank Bruno weren't a bad fighter in his day.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, just lastly, obviously, if we forget about the Anthony Joshua rematch for Dubois, and let's say he was to wait for the winner of Fury Usyk, and it happened to be Usyk, how would Daniel Dubois go about trying to beat Usyk in a rematch?
Uh, well, his confidence is in a place at the moment where it's never been before, and he threw the right shot selection in his fight with Usyk,
Hmm.
and he will only do it better if he gets the opportunity.
Spot on, absolutely spot on. Mark, thank you very much for your time as always. Always good to catch up with you, and I'm sure we'll speak again before you head out to Saudi. I might even catch you at York Hall next Friday. I might be there.
Tommy Fletcher, the Norfolk Nightmare. Don't miss him.
We will be there. Mark, thank you very much.
Take care. Love you.